Hi.
Hi, are you sure this course is just for 2499?
Yes, and you know this is the only course with this expertise across the world.
No way!
Yes way. Don't delay. Enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Is clearly visible. Right. Can you please get information if everything is okay my side? Hi everyone. Is my voice audible? Please let me know in the chat section if my voice is clearly audible. Thanks, Mayuk, for the confirmation. I guess let's just wait for a couple more minutes so that the rest of other participants also join, and then we shall be starting the analysis. First of all, we will be solving the quiz questions, and then after that, we will be going to coding questions. Okay. Right. So, Mayuk, how many questions were you able to solve? All right. Actually, I'm going to solve the questions in C++, but the thing is that, C++ and Java almost have the same syntax. The first thing. Second thing, logic will be clearly explained to you, so it will be easier for you to switch to Java also. And third, we will talk in the backend team, and the next day when the codes will be shared with you all, we will make sure that the Java codes are also shared, okay? So I guess we are having all the participants that we are expecting. So let us now start with the explanation part. So the first question is, if the ratio of the ages of A and B is 3:4 and the sum of their ages is 70, what is the age of A? So if we will look at the question, it is a basic simple ratio question. So what we can do is that initially we can take their age as x, and the ratio is 3 is to x, so we can take the age of A as 3x and age of B as 4x. So if we will do 3x plus 4x, so we will get 70, right? So this will give us 4, 5, 7x. So 7x will give us 70. It means that the value of x is 10. And what does the question demands from us is, it demands us the age of A. So age of A will be 3x, that is 3 into 10, which is equal to 30. So that is the correct answer to this question. Let us now move to the next question. That is, two ships are sailing in the sea on the two sides of a lighthouse, and the angle of elevation of the top of the lighthouse observed from the ships are 60-degree and 45-degree respectively. The distance between the two ships is 300 meters. Find the height of the lighthouse, that is the nearest integer. Okay, so this is a trigonometric question. So on the basis of the question, what is it that this is a line? Okay, let us say the height of the tower is h. Okay, from one side the angle of elevation is, we have 60-degree, and from the other side the angle of elevation that we have is 45-degree. And as this entire distance is d, so if I'm taking, sorry, entire distance is 300. So if I'm taking this distance as d, so this distance will be 300 minus d. Clear? Now from here we can derive that tan 60 degree will be is equal to h upon d, and tan 45 degree will be is equal to h upon 300 minus d. Correct? Now what we have is tan 60 degree as root 3. So okay, what you can do here is you can simply write h is equal to d tan 60 degree, that is the first equation, and next we can write as h is equal to tan 45 degree and 300 minus d. Okay, this is the second equation. So we have two variables, we have two equations. Okay, so when you will equate these two equations, you will be getting the answer to this question, right? So the correct answer to this question will be h will value of h, that is the nearest integer, that will be 190. All right, so that is the correct answer to this question. Okay, let us now move to the next question. That is, a bus travels at an average speed of 50 km per hour for the first 4 hours, and then travels at an average speed of 60 km per hour for the next 3 hours. So what is the average speed of the bus for the entire journey? Now what is the formula for average speed that is given to us is, so the average speed is given by the formula, that is total distance traveled upon total time taken, right? So if you will find out what is the total distance traveled, that we have here is the total distance traveled. Okay, so that is 50 kilometer per hour for the first 4 hours, means 50 into 4, plus next we have 50 kilometer per hour for the next 3 hours, 60 into 3, and what is the total time that the bus traveled is 7. So we have 200 plus 180 divided by 7. Okay, so that will give you the answer as 54.28. All right, so that is the correct option to the question. Okay, let us now move to the next question. That is, the sum of the first terms of an AB is 255 and the first term is 12. What is the common difference of the series? So you can solve this question by using the formula. The nth term is given by, and the sum of nth term, sum of n terms is given by the formula n by 2 plus n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d. Okay, so if I write it down here, it will be Sn is equal to n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1d, right? Now, what is given to us? The value of a is given to us. Okay, that is 12. All right, and Sn is given to us, that is 255, and we need to find d. So if you will substitute the value at a, d, and n is also given to us, that is 10. Okay, so if you will substitute this value, so you will be getting the value of d as 3, right? So that is the correct answer to this question. Let's move to the next question. That is, a train travels a distance of 360 km at an average speed of 90 km per hour. How long does it take to travel the distance? So distance is simply speed. We need to find out the time. So time is simply the distance traveled by the speed. So if you will divide 360 by 90, what we will be getting? We will be simply getting 4 hours. That is the answer to this question. Okay. Next question is, a person can paint a house in 12 days, while another person can paint the same house in 16 days. If they both work together to paint the house, how many days will it take for them to finish the job? All right. Okay, so my voice is audible, right? If I can please get a confirmation for that. I expect that my voice is audible. All right. If there is any problem from my end, all of you can post it in the chat section. Okay. So yeah, what we have here is the person's work is given and we need to find out in how many days they can finish the job. Okay, so this is a very standard problem. Let us see how we can do is for person A, what is the amount of work that he can do in one day, that is 1 by 12, and the person B, the amount of work that he can do in one day, that is 1 by 16. Okay, so in one day, what is the together, so in one day, what is the together amount of work that they can do is, that is 1 by 12 plus 1 by 16, which will give us 7 by 48, right? Now, what we need to find out is in how many days it will take them to finish the job, right? So they need to finish the job. It means that they need to complete the 1 unit of job, right? So for doing that, they will need total of 1 upon 7 by 48 days. That is 48 by 7 days, which will give us nearest integer value to 7 days, right? So it will take them nearly 7 days to finish the work. All right, so that is the correct answer to this question. Next, we have A can do work in 18 days and B in 27 days. If they work on it together for 6 days, then the fraction of the work that is left is. So we need to find out the fraction that is left. So here again we'll find out the work done by one day, that is 1 by 18 by one person and 1 by 27 by other person, right? Now this is the work for one day. Now if they're working for 6 days, how much they can work? That is 6 into, we can write this as 5 by 54. Okay, so this will come out to be 30 by 54, that is 5 by 9. All right, so they are completing 5 by 9. So how much work is left? So you can get that left work will be 1 minus 5 by 9, that is simply 4 by 9. Okay, so 4 by 9 amount of work is left. Now how we can write 4 by 9? If you look at the, all right, so I was not sharing. Yeah, so if you will look at the this explanation tab, what I've done here is, first of all, in one day they will be able to complete 1 by 18 and 1 by 27 work together, right? So that's why I plus symbol. So in 6 days, how much work they can complete is 6 into 5 divided by 54. All right, so it will be 5 by 9. Cool. Now, how much work is left? If they're completing 5 by 9, then how much work is left? That is 1 minus 5 by 9, that is 4 by 9. Okay. So now what does 4 by 9 means? If you will look at the options, the correct option is 12 by 27. It will reduce to 4 by 9. So that is the correct option to the question. Okay. The next question that we have is, A is twice as good as a workman as B and therefore is able to finish a job in 50 days less than B. Working together, they can do it in, again, we have a question revolving around the same concept, is they are working togetherly. So what we need to do is, let us say if B is finishing in X, then X is written, it is written that it is twice as good, right? So for A, we will have value as X by 2, right? And it is also written that the difference in the number of days that they have, that is X by 2 is X minus 50, right? That is the difference in days. So this is the one equation. And when you will solve the equation, you will get the value of X as 100. Okay. Now let us find out that what is the amount of work that they can do together, that is 1 divided by amount of work done by A is 1 divided by amount of work done by B. Okay, then together it comes out to be 3 by 100. That is required that in how many days they can finish the job together. So for that it will be simply 1 divided by 3 by 100, that is 100 by 3. That will simply gives us 33.3. Okay, so that is the correct. Okay. So yeah, this is the method to solve the question. First of all, we will write the equation as b is equal to x, a is x by 2. These are the equations that we will be getting. And then 100 divided by 3, that is 33.33. Right? That is the correct answer to the question. Next, we have, if the length of a rectangle is increased by 15% and the width is decreased by 5%, what is the percentage change in the area of the rectangle? All right. So for that, we have, Percentage change in area that we can calculate as, initially let us say area is length into width, correct? So let us say the new area that we have is, that is after increasing, it will be 1.15 L into 0.95 of width, all right, which is total of 1.0925 of area, the previous area, okay? Now percentage change that is given by a dash minus a divided by a. So it will be 1.0925 minus 1 divided by 1. All right. So it will give you the answer of 9.25%. Okay. So that is the correct answer to this question. It is going to be an increase because the value is positive. Next, we have a basket contains P white balls and Q black balls. And when two balls are drawn at a random, the probability that both are white is 1 by 2. What is the smallest value of P plus Q for this to be true? All right. So both the balls that are drawn, they are white. Okay. So let us suppose that the first ball that, okay, so we need to find the probability for when two balls are drawn at random, the probability that both are white. Okay. So if P is for white balls, Q is for black balls. So in this case, what we have is the equation will be formed as, when you are picking up the first ball that is not white, okay, and you are picking it from total of P plus Q balls, okay. Like first balls that we are picking is already white, right? So in how many ways you can do it? You can do it in P ways, and the total number of ways that we have is P plus Q ways, right? Into the second ball must also be white. So for that we have P minus 1 ways, and the total number of balls now has been reduced to P plus Q minus 1, okay? So this value is given as equal to half, correct? Now when you will solve this equation, you will get as P minus Q and P minus Q divided by P plus Q minus 1, it will give you a value of 0, right? Now, as this can't be 0, so what the first condition is that P must be is equal to Q, correct? So in that case, what we got is that the minimum value that we can have is that will be in the format of 2p. If p is equal to q, it means that the value of both of them are same, right? So whatever value they will be yielding, that will be in the format of 2p. So you can start it from 1, 2, 3, whatever. So we will be getting the sum as 2, 4, 6, 8 like this. So in this, the minimum option that is there, that is 4 is given to us, right? So in that way, 4 is the correct answer to this question. Let us now discuss programming questions. So what is the output of the following pseudocode snippet? Hi, Yuvraj. So let us discuss what is the output of the following pseudocode snippet. Now this is a simple bitwise operator. You need to just do the left shifting and right shifting. And after all the operations, the answer to this question will be 1. Okay. Next we have, what is the time complexity of finding the kth smallest element in an unsorted array? Alright, so if the array is unsorted and if we are performing a quick select algorithm, and also it is given that it is a worst case, so in any ways it will take you n square of time because you will need to iterate the loop twice. Okay, so it will take a time of n square. That is the correct answer. Next, which of the following data structures is not based on the stack concept? So there should not be stack, right? So in DFS and in, okay, DFS, we always have a stack, right? In function call stack, it is already mentioned that it is using a stack. Undo redo stack uses a stack, but breadth first search is something that uses queue, right? It does not use stack. So that is the answer to this question. Next, we have given the nodes of a binary tree. What will be the left view of the binary tree? So what you need to do is you need to simply construct the tree, right? And after constructing the tree, you will be getting your answer, right? In that way, you can find answer to this question. Next, we have, which of the following statement is true about NP hard graph problems? Okay, so the correct statement is that they require exponential time to solve. All right. Next, we have, consider the following binary tree. Which of the following represents the post order traversal? Okay, so what is a post order traversal? It means that first left, then right, then root. All right. So if we will be traversing in this way, then you'll be getting the correct answer as this. All right, option A. Next, we have a postfix notation. We have to find this, so we can do this with the help of a stack, okay, and with the associativity of the operators. You can simply keep on pushing back inside the stack, and you can keep on checking the associativity. So, by doing that, the correct answer to this question is option A. Okay, sorry, the option B will be the correct answer for this question. Yeah. Next, we have eighth. Okay, so in a BST, what are the operations that can be performed in log n? So actually, the quality of BST is that all of the operations can be performed in a log n time. Okay, both all the operations: insertion, deletion, and searching. Okay. Next, we have in order traversal. Now, what does in order traversal of a tree means? That first we do left, then root, then right. Okay. So in that way, the correct answer to this question will be option B. Okay, we need to first traverse the left part, then root, then right. Okay, so that is, and in this question, what we are doing is we are accessing the index value of the array. So for all the even index positions, we are adding it to the sum, and for all the odd index positions, we are subtracting it from the sum, right? So what we have as even index, we have 0, 2, and 4. So if you will do a sum of 0 to 4, you will get 6. And what we have at odd index positions, we have 1 and at odd index positions we have 1 and sorry 3 and 1, right? So if you will do a subtraction 6 minus 3, you will be getting the answer as 3. Okay, so the correct answer to this question will be 3. Alright, let us now move to the coding part. Okay, so the first question that we have is character exchange. Some issue is going on. Right. So the first part that the first question that we have is character. Okay, let us solve. Start with is the number. Okay. So the question statement is: Geek is attending maths class. His teacher wrote an integer k on the board and asked everyone to find out an integer num such that num is at least possible number and num is greater than is equal to k, and sum of limits of num is divisible by 4. Right? So how we can solve this question? You can simply use the brute force approach to solve this question. Okay, like what do we mean by brute force approach here is what you can do is you can simply start the iteration from the smallest number that we can have. Okay, you can do a sum of the integers, and at any point if the sum of the integers that you are getting, okay, if that is equal to 4 or if that is divisible by 4, right, then that will be your answer, right? So that in this way you can proceed with the question. Now let me help you with the code for this question. Yeah. So this is the code for the question. What we have done here is we are simply, this is the function that is given to us. Okay. In that we are starting our iteration from k, right? Because we need the new integer to be greater than or is equal to k. And we are iterating till 2000. Why 2000? Because the constraints are till 1000 only, right? So it is for sure that if even if the last number is 1000, then till in the range of 2000, you will be getting your answer, right? And we are doing a simple increment operation, and then for each of the integers, we are checking that if the value of sum modulo 4 is equal to 0 or not. And how do we find the sum of the integers? This is the function to find the sum, right? You simply need to do the modulus operand operation, okay, on all the integers, and then simply you need to add them, right? And at the end, we will return minus 1. Cool. So that is how we can solve this question, right? Let us now move to the next question. The next question that we have is add and subtract. So the question statement reads as, given an array A of length n and two operations, add one to an array element or subtract one from an array element. You have to perform exactly one of the above operations on each array element. Now from the updated array, you need to return the count of the element that has the maximum frequency in updated array. An updated array is the array that we got after performing exactly one of the above operations on the array, right? So see, what we are doing here is, what we are doing here is in input, what we have that we 1 3 2 4 3 2 1. Okay, in input where we have 1 3 2 4 3 2 1. Okay, that is the input. And what is the output? We are getting output as 4. 4 is the maximum frequency of 2. And how we can get that frequency? I will increment 1. Here I will do plus 1, so I'll get 2. Here I'll get minus, here I will get minus 1, so I will again get 2. Here I can do any operation. Let us say I have done plus 1. Here also I can do any operation. Let us say I have done minus 1. Here I have done minus 1, I'll get 2. Here I will do say minus 1, I'll get 1. Here I'll do plus 1, I'll get 2. Okay. So 2 is the character that I'm getting most number of times. Right. So the answer to this question is 4. Why 4? Because the number of occurrences of 2 is 4. So basically, I hope the question statement is clear. So what is the question expecting is that if any value that is given to us inside the array, you can either do plus 1 to it or you can either do the minus 1. And at the end, you need to find out which character is having the max frequency. So here we have two options to do. We can either do plus 1 or you can either do minus 1. So what we will do is, while we are iterating through all the array elements, we will create an unordered map. Okay. Now, how that unordered map will help us? In that unordered map, what we can do is for every character, all right, we will increment it by 1 and then we will store its frequency, and also we will decrement it by 1 and then we will store its frequency. Okay. And then at the end, we will calculate the character having the maximum frequency. Now, what do I mean by this is, let us say 132 432. Okay. We have 132 4 3 2 1. Okay. Now here, if I first of all try to do the increment operation in all of the values, what I will get, I'll get 2 4 3 5 4 3 2. Okay. And if I will do the decrement operation, this is for increment. When I do the add, if I do the subtract operation, I will have 0 2 1 3 2 1 and 0. Okay. Now this is for the decrement operation that I have received after doing the subtraction. Okay. Now if I'm having an unordered map, okay, I'm using an unordered map here. All right. And if I will try to update the count of the characters, so how many times did I receive 0? I have 0 as 2 number of times. How many times I have 1? I have 1 as 2. How many times I have 2? 4. How many times I have 3? I have got 3 as 3 number of times. And so on, 4 and 5 are occurring for 2 and 1 number of times respectively, right? So that's why 2 is occurring as the maximum number of times. So that is going to be the answer. Okay. As you can see, what we'll do from here, 2 is selected, 2, 2 and 2, right? So rather than deciding that whether to do increment or decrement, how we will get the maximum frequency, simply what do the increment for all the integers, do the decrement for all the integers, store it inside the map, and then at the end count the maximum occurrence of a character. Okay. So this is the way by which you can solve this question. And I can help you with the code of the question. Just give me a moment. Okay, so this is the code that we can use. Like, we have created a map here. There is no need to create a map. You can either have an unordered map here as well, because ordering is not important here. So we can have an ordered map here. Simply do an increment, subtract the integers and then update its count. Add the 1 to the integers and then update its count. Okay. This is the count that you will get after doing the decrement. And this is the count that you will get after doing the increment. Okay. So update the map accordingly. And then at the end, iterate through the map. Okay. And keep the maximum frequency that you are getting. That will be stored in x dot second, right? X dot second will store the frequency and x dot first will store the character. Okay. So in this way, you can solve this question. So let us now move to our last question. That is character exchange. So let us try to solve this question. Okay. All right. Any confusion till now? Whoever has joined, it would be really very nice if you can give an update. So, do we have anyone in the session? Guys, no issues. Let us now try to solve this question, that is character exchange. The question statement is that given an integer n, a string s of length 2n, and a 2D integer array queries of size n, representing the queries, the ith query is given by three integers ti, xi, and yi. So if ti is 1, what we need to do is we need to swap the xith character and yith character of s. And if ti is 2, what we need to do is we need to swap the first 10 characters and last 10 characters of s. Okay. Now return the string s after processing all m queries in the given order. Right. So see, the simple brute force approach is what you can do is, you can just do the iteration again and again. You can keep swapping the characters again and again, right? That is the brute force approach. But let us see how we can avoid it. So to have an optimal approach for the question, the thing that we are going to do is see the query is given to us in three formats, that is ti, xi, yi. Okay. So if it is 1, in that case, we simply need to swap xi and yi. And if it is 2, in that case, we simply need to swap first 10 characters. Yeah, we need to swap first 10 characters with last 10. Right? So see, how we can solve this question is like we will need to have a variable, let us say flag, okay? It will keep a track of whether the swapping for the first n character or the last n character has been done or not. Okay, if that swapping is done or not. Okay, we need to keep a variable flag for it. Now, if that swapping is done, right? It means like let us say the variable is flag and and let us say its value is true. Okay, so if its value is true, it means that the first n characters have been swapped with the last n characters at some point during the query processing, right? Like every time t will be 2, you will need to swap the first 10 character with the last 10 character. Okay, so and also, okay, there is this one thing about swapping that I want you all to know. See, let us say there is, if say a b c d. Okay, if you will swap the first 10 characters with the last 10, what you will get, a is swapped with c, you will get c. Okay, b is swapped with d, you will get d, you will get a b. Okay, and again if you will swap the first 10 characters with the last 10 characters, in this case what you will get, you will get a b c d. So can you see this? What is happening is that every, like rather than doing the swapping operations again and again, okay, you can simply have a flag, okay, which will check that whether the swapping is done or not. In case the swapping is done, simply change it to not of flag, and in case the swapping is not done, simply swap it. Actually what we are doing here is, if you will do even number of swaps, it will give you the same string, right, with which you have started. And for the odd number of swaps, you will have a new string. All right. So this is the concept that can be used here, right? So what we'll do is we will just keep a track of whether the variable has been swapped or not. Okay, the first 10 characters have been swapped or not. Okay, so the original, if the flag is true, okay, it means in that case what we will do is the original indices xi and yi, they need to be adjusted to the new positions in the string s. Okay, you can't simply use the given index value, you need to adjust them. Okay, and how we can adjust them? You need to take into account the fact that the first n characters have been swapped with the last n characters, right? So in accordingly you can adjust your string. And next, to adjust the indices, what we will do is we will check if xi and yi are greater than or equal to 1. Okay. So if they are so, then we will subtract n from the indices. Okay. Otherwise, we will simply add n to the indices. Okay. So this is the adjustment process that you need to do. And then simply if you need to swap the first n character with the last n character, then in that case, rather than swapping, what you will do is update your flag variable. Okay. That is the thing that you can do. And if I share the code for the question, all right, I hope, so yeah, when I was explaining this, let me explain this again. I think my screen was not visible. So, okay, if we have A, B, C, D, if you will do a swapping first time for the first 10 character with the last 10, you will get C, D, A, B, right? And now again, if you will do the swapping, you will get A, B, C, D. That is this string again. So for even number of swaps, what we have is we have the same string. And for the odd number of swaps, what we have is we have different string, right? So basically, rather than doing the swapping again and again, you can simply update your flag variable. Okay, we can simply update our flag variable. So that will give us the answer. And if we talk about the code, so yeah, you can see initially the variable is false, the is swapped variable. Then we are iterating over all the queries. We are, if the value of t is 1, that is query number 1, we are doing x minus minus and y minus minus. Why? Because we need to adjust it. Because as you can see in the query, we have given 1 based indexing, right? So we need to convert it to 0 base. That's why we are subtracting. Now, if the first in character has been swapped, then what you need to do is you need to adjust the index value of x and y. Okay, so for this adjusting thing, we have done this calculation here, and then after the adjusting, you can simply swap it. Okay, and if t is 2, it means that we need to swap the first 10 character with the last 10. Now rather than swapping again and again, what you need to do is you can simply have a flag value that whether they are already swapped or not, and keep on changing them. Okay, so that will give you the correct answer. And at the end, if the variables is saying that if they are swapped, the first 10 character has been swapped, then you simply need to concatenate them. Okay, so in this way what I'm doing is that I'm concatenating the first end part and the second end part. Okay, so that will give you the correct answer, and then at the end you can simply return s. Okay, so this is the code for the question. And that was it about the post contest analysis. If there is any doubt in any of the thing, please feel free to ask. All right. So, okay, as there is no any confusion here, so okay, I wish you all the best for your results, and prepare yourself for the next by Visit School coding